I think I messed up. Tonight we're taking a trip to a place where consumerism meets the truly terrifying. We're diving deep into the dark heart of America Walmart. Every day, millions walk through those automatic doors, searching for deals. But what happens when the deals of a lifetime turn deadly? These are 8 true, scary Walmart horror stories that will send chills down your spine. So buckle up, turn off the lights, and make sure you're fully stocked on courage, because you're gonna need it. I remember it clearly. It was a late-night Walmart shopping trip. Picture this, the nearly empty parking lot, the unsettling quiet, broken only by the eerie hum of streetlights. A young woman finishing her shopping was making her way back to her car. She unlocked the door, threw her bags in the passenger seat, and as she slid behind the wheel, she noticed it. A figure standing at the edge of the light. A tall, shadowy figure just watching her. She tried to shake off the feeling, telling herself it was just another late-night shopper. But something about the way the figure just stood there, unmoving, sent shivers down her spine. She started her car, hoping to escape the gaze of this mysterious watcher. But as she pulled out of her parking spot, she couldn't shake the feeling that the figure was moving closer, its eyes burning into her. She sped out of the parking lot, heart pounding, the image of the figure seared into her mind. To this day, she can't shake the feeling that she was being watched by something sinister. Our next tale takes us behind the friendly facade of Walmart into the labyrinthine aisles of the stockroom. It's late, well after closing, and a lone employee is finishing up his inventory. The air is thick with the smell of cardboard and cleaning supplies, the only sound the squeak of his shoes on the concrete floor. As he rounds a corner, he's met with an unexpected chill, a cold spot that seems to cling to the air. He shivers, pulling his jacket tighter around himself. Suddenly, he hears it. A soft whisper coming from the darkness at the back of the stockroom. His heart pounds in his chest as he slowly makes his way towards the sound, each step echoing in the silence. As he reaches the end of the aisle, the whispering stops. He's met with an oppressive silence, a feeling that he's not alone. He spins around, searching for the source of the whispers, but there's nothing there. He rushes out of the stockroom, the feeling of dread clinging to him like a shroud. He never goes back into the stockroom alone, forever haunted by the whispers in the darkness. This story takes place in the brightly lit aisles of the toy section, a place that should be filled with laughter and joy. A young mother is browsing the shelves, looking for a birthday present for her son. As she scans the rows of colourful toys, she notices a lone figure at the end of the aisle. A small child, no more than 6 years old, with his back to her. The child is oddly still, his head tilted at an unnatural angle. The mother, thinking the child is lost, approaches him, asking if he's okay. But as she gets closer, she notices something strange. The child is incredibly pale, his eyes hollow and dark. She reaches out to touch him, but her hand passes right through him. The mother gasps, stumbling backward in terror. The ghostly child turns to face her, a sad smile on his pale lips, and then vanishes into thin air. The mother, shaken to her core, flees the toy aisle, never to return. Chapter 4. The Security Guard's Watch. Our next terrifying tale comes from the perspective of a security guard working the graveyard shift at a remote Walmart. The store is eerily quiet. The only sounds the hum of the fluorescent lights and the distant murmur of the overnight cleaning crew. He makes his rounds, checking doors and monitoring the security cameras, the monotony of the job weighing heavily on him. As he walks past the darkened electronics section, he notices something strange on the security monitor. A figure darting between the aisles. He zooms in on the camera, his heart pounding in his chest. The figure is tall and gaunt, its features obscured by the shadows. He grabs his flashlight and radio, his voice shaking as he calls for backup. He cautiously approaches the electronics section, his every sense on high alert. The air grows cold, and he can feel the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. He shines his flashlight down the aisles, but there's nothing there. The figure has vanished. He checks the security footage, but the cameras inexplicably malfunctioned during the time of the sighting. He finishes his shift, a knot of fear growing in his stomach. He knows what he saw, and he can't shake the feeling that something evil is lurking in the shadows of the store. Chapter 5. Vanished Customer. This story takes place in the bustling heart of a Walmart during the holiday shopping rush. The store is packed with shoppers, all scrambling to find the perfect gifts. A cashier is ringing up a customer's purchases, making small talk to pass the time. The customer is an older woman dressed in a long dark coat, her face obscured by a wide-brimmed hat. She pays for her items in cash, her fingers wrinkled and pale. The cashier hands her change and the woman turns to leave, but as she does, she seems to disappear. 1 minute she's there, and the next she's gone, vanished into thin air. The cashier blinks, confused, looking around for the woman. She asks the customers in line if they saw where the woman went, but they all shake their heads, equally bewildered. The woman had simply vanished. To this day, no one knows what happened to the woman in the dark coat, leaving behind a chilling mystery in the heart of Walmart. Chapter 6. Static in Electronics. Our next story takes place in the electronics section, surrounded by TVs, computers and gaming consoles. A group of teenagers are browsing the video games, laughing and joking with each other. They stop in front of a wall of flat-screen TVs, the screens all tuned to the same channel, displaying a static image. As they watch, the static on one of the TVs begins to distort, forming into a grotesque and distorted face. The teenagers stare in horror as the face opens its mouth, letting out a deafening shriek that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. They scramble back, knocking over displays in their haste to escape. The shriek stops as suddenly as it began, and the face on the TV dissolves back into static. Shaken and terrified, the teenagers flee the electronics section, vowing never to return. The TVs remain a constant reminder of the horrifying face that emerged from the static. Chapter 7. Trapped in the Fitting Room. Our next tale of terror takes us to the often dreaded fitting rooms, a place where insecurities and strange occurrences seem to go hand in hand. A young woman is trying on clothes, standing under the harsh fluorescent lights, evaluating her reflection in the mirror. She slips on a dress, frowning at the way it fits. As she's about to take it off, she hears it, a soft scratching sound coming from the fitting room next to hers. She pauses, listening intently. The scratching continues, followed by a low guttural growl. Her heart races as she slowly backs away from the connecting wall, her mind racing with terrifying possibilities. She calls out, her voice trembling, "Hello? Is someone in there?" Silence. She gathers her courage and pushes open the door to the adjacent fitting room, expecting to find an animal or perhaps another person. But the room is empty. She steps inside, cautiously looking around. The scratching sound starts again, this time seemingly coming from inside the walls. She kicks the wall, hoping to scare whatever is making the noise. The growling intensifies and the lights flicker, plunging the fitting room into darkness. She screams, fumbling for her phone, her fingers trembling as she dials for help. The growling and scratching reach a fever pitch, and then silence. The lights flicker back on, and the woman is left standing alone, shaken to her core, forever haunted by the experience. Chapter 8. Don't Follow the Plants. Our final story takes place in the garden centre, surrounded by the sweet smell of flowers and the earthy aroma of potting soil. It's a peaceful scene, but beneath the surface lies a chilling tale. A young couple is browsing the plants, looking for the perfect addition to their home. They wander through rows of colourful flowers, their fingers brushing against soft petals. As they round a corner, they notice a peculiar plant, a tall, spiky cactus with an unsettling aura. As they get closer, they hear a faint humming sound coming from the plant, growing louder as they approach. They reach out to touch the cactus, drawn in by its strange beauty. Suddenly the humming stops and the air grows heavy, filled with a sense of dread. They turn to leave, but the path behind them is blocked by a wall of thorns, seemingly growing out of nowhere. They're trapped. They push against the thorns, but they're impenetrable. The humming starts again, louder this time, and the thorns begin to glow with an eerie green light. They close their eyes, bracing themselves for the worst. When they open their eyes, the thorns are gone and the path is clear. They waste no time in fleeing the garden centre, the humming sound echoing in their nightmares. They never return, forever haunted by the memory of the carnivorous cactus and the feeling of being trapped in a botanical nightmare. Thank you for braving the Isles of Terror with us tonight. We've journeyed through the darkest corners of Walmart, uncovering the chilling tales that lurk beneath the surface of everyday shopping. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more chilling tales. And remember, the next time you're browsing the aisles of your local Walmart, be careful. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows. Stay safe out there.